You have a construction helmet on right there.
Yeah, I work construction, yeah.
Does it bother you that Trump famously didn't pay a lot of his construction employees?
Who?
In Atlantic City, a lot of the people who worked on his casinos, people lost their livelihoods.
Says who?
The people.
It's just known people.
It is a known thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure they deserved it.
There's pride in being an absolute stepping stool for Donald Trump in MAGA world. I can't understand how they cultivated a group of this many people, this motivated to step over anyone else for the purpose of being screwed over by their boss.
What brought you here today?
My boss is here, so I'd come to see him.
Who's your boss?
President Trump,
He's your boss?
pretty much. He's all of our bosses.
In what way? That he tells you what to do?
He don't tell me what to do. Or he runs the country in a good way that nobody else can. So I consider him my boss because basically they run this country like a business.
Does it bother you that he ran a lot of his businesses into bankruptcy, though?
No, it don't bother me at all. No, it don't bother me at all. I don't care if he.
But if he runs the country like a business, he could like bankrupt
I don't
it.
care if he was smoking crack with Hunter. I don't care. I'm going to vote for him. I don't care what happens. I'm voting for him.
Even if he was smoking crack with Hunter Biden?
Hell yes, I would.
So what you're saying is that it has nothing to do with how badly he ran his businesses or your newly dispelled belief that he's a great businessman. He's just your boss that would still be your boss if he was smoking crack with Hunter Biden, who you don't like or trust because of his questionable business practices and drug use, which you'd accept if Hunter was Donald Trump. So in other words, nothing matters except his propaganda that he posted for his eager minions to take in, like this.
We shouldn't much care whether our commander-in-chief is a real conservative, whether he is a role model for children, or says lots of silly things, or whether he is modest or dignified. What we should care about is whether he knows we are in a war, knows who the enemy is, and knows how to win. Trump does.
If he can get MAGA to follow him through that declaration of blind loyalty, he can get them to believe anything.
Congressman, in the last minute, you just said Donald Trump is going to win. If Donald Trump does not win, will you and the rest of the Republicans and the supporters of Donald Trump accept that he did not win and that the fix is not in? Because that's very crucial for us to have fair and safe elections.
If the elections are fair and safe, I always support the result of the election. If they are not, I have concerns. And the bottom line is, I don't think
so. If Trump wins, it's fair. If Biden wins, it's not fair. Is that what you're saying, Congressman?
No, Arthel, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is I don't even think about him not winning because in my mind and many Americans' minds, including middle of the road independents and Democrats, the future of our nation and of the republic is at risk.
I wish the follow-up question was more like, what would convince you that the election is legitimate if it's not simply based on your guy winning? And since the election that your guy still refuses to acknowledge resulted in that L that he took, why do you preemptively believe that this one might be worth calling for another insurrection attempt? The point is to inject some doubt into the results just in case he loses again, so that followers are more prone to believe the lies again. Their role is to just brainlessly follow his lead, while the billionaires give him money in return for policies that give them even more.
Donald Trump raked in a record amount of money to add to his campaign war chest, holding an exclusive fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago. President Biden and the Democrats also building on their fundraising efforts.
Trump campaign saying that fundraiser raked in an estimated $50 million at Mar-a-Lago. It was also only the second political appearance of this campaign for former First Lady Melania Trump. This was the Republican response to that massive Democratic fundraiser where President Biden, former Presidents Obama and Clinton brought in a smaller $26 million last week.
Two things on this. This fundraiser turned out to be a response to Biden's $26 million fundraiser a couple of weeks ago that the Trump team called glitzy and full of out-of-touch elitists. They called it that right before promising to surpass that $26 million number with a bunch of elitist billionaires hanging out at Mar-a-Lago. The jabs don't have to make any logical sense. They just have to be said for people that call Trump their boss to revere him a little bit more. But what other people did notice is the seemingly reluctant appearance of Donald's formerly MIA wife.
People are just wanting change. Rich people want it, poor people want it. Everybody wants change. Our country is really doing poorly. We're a laughing stock all over the world, and we're going to get that change very quickly. And this has been some incredible evening before it even starts, because people, they wanted to contribute to a cause of making America great again, and that's what's happened. We're going to make America great again. Everyone knows it. The election's going to be in now a little more than 6 months, and it's going to be the most important, I believe, election we've ever had. I think it's going to go down as the most important date in the history of our country. That's November 5th, will be the most important date in the history of our country. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here.
After months of speculation and questions, Melania is back in front of cameras while Donald runs for office. And from the look of discomfort on her face, she can't wait to get back into hiding and let that little bit more enthusiastic person help Trump build up his campaign and legal defense fund.
So what's behind all this? Hatred. They tried to destroy Kavanaugh because they wanted to keep the Supreme Court seat open. They're trying to destroy Donald Trump because they fear him at the ballot box. To the conservatives out there, make sure you vote. If you got friends, make sure they vote. If you don't have any friends, go make some friends. But you need to help this man, Donald J. Trump. They're trying to drain him dry. He spent more money on lawyers than most people spend on campaigns. They're trying to bleed him dry. DonaldJTrump.com. Go tonight. Give the president some money to fight this bullshit. This is going to destroy America. We're going to fight back at the ballot box. We're not going to give in. How does this end, Sean? Trump wins in court, and he wins the election. That's how this ends.
How do you get to 34 counts on this in your view?